Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So we're going to discuss the post-lab of experiment 2. So first, you just need to do the result, calculation and conclusion in your jotter. Okay, just continue off with your the drawing of procedure. So first, we're going to discuss the result. So for A, the mass for sodium carbonate, okay, this is the one that you weigh on your weighing scale, and the volume of solution is 250 ml because this is the volume that you prepared in volumetric flask. For part B, standardization of hydrochloric acid solution. So we're gonna start the gross reading with initial reading of 0. Okay, this is when you fill up your burette. Okay, so the reading should be 0.00 and you have to note that, okay, so first, gross reading should not be included in calculation. Second thing is to know that you must record your result or your data in 2 decimal place. So for example, you've got a reading of 25.7, so the data that need to be recorded would be 25.70, which is in 2 decimal place. So next, you need to calculate the average volume of HCl used. So remember that gross reading would never be included in calculation. So you need to calculate the average between the first, the second, and the third titration data. So that would be 24.50 ml. Yes, your final answer should be recorded into decimal place because HCl is used in burette. The next part is calculation. So for part A, first, you need to find the moles of sodium carbonate prepared, and that would be the mass of your sodium carbonate divided by the molar mass, which is 106 gram per mole. So the mole would be 0.0123 mole. So second is to find your molarity of sodium carbonate, and we're gonna use the formula of mole solute in the unit of mole divided by your volume of solution in the unit of liter. So the mole would be that we've already calculated earlier on, divided by, okay, the volume of solution would be the volume that we prepared, okay, which is 250 ml in volumetric flask. So convert it to liter, that would be 0.25 liter. So your molarity would be 0.0492 mole per liter. Part B. First, you need to have write your balanced chemical equation between your acid and base. And you have to figure out the product of that neutralization process. So that would be your sodium carbonate plus hydrochloric acid to form NaCl plus CO2 plus H2O. So balance this equation. So you've got 2 HCl and 2 NaCl. Second is to calculate the moles of sodium carbonate that you pipette for part B. Okay, so we're gonna use the formula of mv over 1000 because we've already got the molarity from part A, and the volume that you pipetted would be 25 ml. Remember? So your molarity would be 0.0492 times volume 25 over 1,000. So that would be 1.23 times 10 to the power of minus 3 mole. So part B asks us to find the molarity of HCl. Okay, but we just figure out the molarity for sodium carbonate. So how you gonna relate both reactants? Okay, so we're gonna do a stoichiometry. So from this balance equation, 1 mole of sodium carbonate is equivalent to 2 mole of HCl. So 1 mole of sodium carbonate that we pipeted would be 1.23 times 10 to the power of minus 3 mole Na2CO3, which gonna produce 2.46 times 10 to the power of minus 3 mole HCl. So we've got the mole of HCl already. Can we find the molarity yet? Yes, you can. Okay. So we're gonna use the same formula that for the same molarity formula in part A, which is mole of solute divided by volume of solution in liter. So the mole of solute of HCl that I've got is 2.46 times 10 to the power of minus 3 mole divided by the volume of solution for HCl. Okay, so this is your average volume that you calculate in result. Okay, this one. So, but remember class, you need to convert that ml to liter. So that would be 0.0245 liter. Okay, so your molarity of HCl would be 0.1004 molar, or you can leave the unit as mole per liter. The last thing to do is your conclusion part. So for conclusion, you have to answer what is your concentration of HCl that you calculate based on your result. So make sure that each group obtain a different reading because you've got different endpoint for last week. Okay, so that's all for the post-lab experiment 2. Complete all the jotter. I want to see it during our face-to-face. Thank you, everyone.